Kia ora. My name is Patrick McKibbin. I'm the CEO here at the Hutt Valley Chamber of Commerce, and I'm delighted today to be joined by Asa Cox from Arcanum.
Great to be here.
And Asa will talk a little bit about his business in a minute. But Arcanum is an organisation that helps business to automate and add intelligence to the end of their workflows already in use. They're there to improve efficiency for businesses, which is fantastic. We love that. Arcanum are a member of the Hutt Valley Chamber of Commerce, and they're already working hard with our business community, particularly our manufacturers, to help them to be more efficient, more productive, and to use AI in a way which can help them improve the things they're doing on a daily basis in their business. So welcome, Asa.
Thank you.
Fantastic to have you here. You might want to just talk a little bit about your business. Thanks very much.
I set the business up in 2016, which is important. We didn't just pop up overnight once ChatGPT arrived, and we've been doing this for a long time. We've worked with big organisations over the years, Transpower, New Zealand Police, New Zealand Rugby, but now we're delighted to be able to help real businesses, I like to say, the ones that are really driving the economy. I founded the business because back in 2016, less so now, AI was a completely unknown thing. Every conversation started with, are you talking about the Terminator? Thankfully, it's moved on a bit more now. But really, we're still to make it accessible, make AI accessible. And so now it's accessible to anybody, which is super exciting. And so we get to work with small and medium businesses across multiple sectors, but we focus on those that don't have teams of developers who can't do these things themselves. So we're just so excited to be able to really work with the heart of the New Zealand economy.
Awesome. I think that thing about accessibility is really important because many of us are using AI, but I think we're only scratching the surface. So making it more accessible to us to get more out of it and do more and more, do things better is exactly where we're at. So let's start with maybe the number of AI companies that are out there, of which you're one of many. So what differentiates you and Arcanum from other AI companies? Why would people come and talk to you versus other people?
Totally. I mean, we've initially, we're here, we're local.
Brilliant.
We're not in Silicon Valley or we're not somewhere else. So we come and see people, we pick up the phone and so on. So there is that local piece. We are very focused on small, medium businesses. So many of the other platforms are either consumers, like the ChatGPT and so on, or big enterprise. There's not a lot, very few, in fact, that are focused on SMBs.
Yeah.
And we talk the language of business, right? I'm not a coder. I haven't got a PhD in data science or anything like that. So for me, it's always been, how do I get value from the technology? So we're a very business-centric AI company. We're not software for the sake of software. Everything doesn't get solved by AI. It's got to be a combination of humans plus AI. So we kind of put ourselves in a very business-centric way.
Awesome. So when you're translating AI into language that a business can understand, that's exactly what we need, because there's lots of terminology out there. There's probably lots of myths about what it is and it isn't. So being able to translate that for businesses is perfect. So we're going to talk about your Numa platform, which is the basis of the AI work you do. But before we do that, what is Numa and what does it mean and what does it mean for a business?
I mean, actually, what it means, it was just a few letters from Arcanum, but
cool.
We're kind of just reorganizing the letters. And it's an all-of-business platform. So when we started on this journey of 3 years ago, when large language models were just coming out, we initially started in just one very narrow area of accounts payable. And we started that, but what we found was everyone was saying, well, that's great, but what about everything else that we want to do? And our assumption at the time was there'd be lots of companies solving these problems and you'll have a collection of AI software that you would use. But it hasn't really turned out that way. In one respect, there's too many options now. There's so many AI companies offering AI for every single little tiny bit of business. And it became overwhelming for people. And so we kept coming back to this challenge of people want a platform on which they can do as many things as possible. And so Numa has become that platform where you can build agents on it, and those agents can take on tasks and workflows. You can add your knowledge into it. It's private and secure. And so we were really focusing in Numa on ticking a few boxes. One, privacy security. How can you safely put your intellectual property, your customer information, your contracts and so on into a place where it's not going to leak into other places or will be found by somebody else? So we built it specifically for that problem. There was also the blank page problem. I get to this chat box in ChatGPT and I really don't know what I can do with it or how far I can push it. So we pre-built a lot of apps and agents inside the platform so people can get started straight away without having to think about it. And then really thirdly was to be a partner. Like we heard time and time again, don't just give me some software and then take your hands away and let me put in a support ticket. Like we really want to partner. So we do hands-on workshops. We come in, we help people go on the journey, we connect their data systems and so on. So they were the kind of three founding principles behind it.
Brilliant. I think that the privacy angle, that I know we've talked about it before, but that's a really important thing for businesses because there's so much talk about uploading your data into things like ChatGPT and no, look, I'm certainly one of those people that doesn't know how secure, where does that data go? So having an area where the privacy is paramount seems to be a really important thing. So keeping up. So ChatGPT is now on version 5, I think. Maybe it's even on something else now. I don't even know what version I've got on my system. But how do you keep up? And how do you then translate that into keeping up for the businesses that you're working with?
Yeah, I mean, over the years, I've subscribed to many a newsletter, as you can probably imagine, many a podcast and so on. So for me, I'm kind of the filter for our customers and for our network, our audience. So I, on a daily basis, probably spend at least an hour a day just going through, filtering what's happened in the last 24 hours. It used to be a weekly newsletter, and now it's daily newsletters. Things move that quickly. And so I'm, again, acting as that translator and that filter to go, what is going to be meaningful here, both in the short term and then also in the long term. So we're not just building a business and some software, which is just the shiny things. We're trying to build it in a way which is going to help our customers survive in the long term. So filtering through all that noise, of which there is an incredible amount, also generated by AI. So there's a huge amount of noise. And so we're just helping people navigate through that. So I just spend my time in it, filtering it. Also, I must confess, I've got an agent in Numa that reads my inbox and filters through my newsletters and summarizes the stuff. So I am also using AI to filter the content. I
won't ask what it says about my newsletter.
So it was a good read.
So look, one of the things that you're doing here in the Hutt Valley, and we've got so many amazing businesses out here that will benefit from this sort of thing. But you've launched the Hutt Valley AI Lunch Tour. And this is about helping business owners and their staff to kind of better understand AI and how you can help them to be more efficient and effective. Just talk to us a little bit more about that initiative and what a business might expect to get from that.
Yeah, perfect. So what we've heard, and it's true, as business owners, everyone's very busy, right? Trying to get people out to events or even out to webinars is kind of tough, right? You've got to commit the time. But also what we've learned with AI is you need to get the majority of your team on the journey. Having one person from the bottom kind of go and do this, or one person from the top going, do this, doesn't work. So you have to get everyone on the journey. So trying to get a whole team out of the office was just a big no. So we said, right, we will come to you, right? If you've got an audience that's willing to listen, or even more than that, is interested to know how to get started with AI, what are the use cases? What are the blockers? What are the things to look out for? How long will things take? How expensive might they be? All of those things, all the questions people have got, like we will come and give you that in your offices, and we will bring lunch, right? So we really want, and we believe that Hutt Valley is an incredible opportunity economically, and technology can help speed that up. And so we're going to the manufacturers, the engineering companies. It's going well so far. We've got kind of 20 slots we're looking to fill before Christmas. We've got 7 already kind of on the way. So it's good. I mean, it's only been a few days of getting people booked in, but it really is coming and just answering all the questions, just allowing it to kind of surface, and whether there's skeptics in the room, whether there's fear, whether there's concerns, and then just getting people to figure out the use cases. And we will demo that AI can achieve these things to get people on that journey.
And look, well, one final question before we kind of wrap up, but what do you think a business can get out of AI in terms of, so there's a whole bunch of processes, there's a whole bunch of finances going around.
Yeah.
What do you think a business can get out of it, or is it kind of an open-ended question?
It's a little bit open-ended, but we focus on three things. How do you grow revenue, which is important? So how do you go and find customers, engage them, satisfy them, deliver against them? There's a lot of activity in acquiring and maintaining customers. So how can AI help you there? How do you generate more profit or reduce costs? Two sides of the same coin. There's going to be time spent on wasted, administration. There's going to be time delays between things that probably may cause you to lose revenue or maybe not grow as much. You're going to be spending a lot of money potentially on consultants and experts, which maybe you don't need to spend as much money. So there's those types of things. And the third one, which is important, is reduce risk. Compliance is huge. Health and safety is huge. And so how do you reduce the cost of being compliant, and how do you become more compliant over time? So they're the three buckets that we kind of look at, and every business has opportunities in there.
Yeah, awesome. So look, fantastic. I hope your lunch tours are successful. It's going to be brilliant for Hutt Valley businesses to jump on board and see how they can benefit from a conversation and a good lunch, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Look, and so how do people get hold of you?
You can either send an email directly to me, so asa@arcanum.ai. You can find us on LinkedIn, or send an email to hello@arcanum.ai, and you will have an interaction with AI through email.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much. It's been a really good conversation. It's something that the Hutt Valley Chamber of Commerce needs to embrace and get on board with. And I'm sure that we can benefit from your experience and knowledge as well. So thank you, Asa.
Thank you,
It's been a great conversation.
Thanks.
Thank you.